Mercury Grand Marquis 1983–1991. For 1979, Mercury downsized its full-size model line for the first time, with the Grand Marquis making its return as the premium model of the Mercury Marquis model range. 17 inches shorter and nearly 1,000 pounds lighter, dependent on powertrain, than its 1978 predecessor. While its exterior footprint closely matched the Cougar, Montego, intermediate sedan, the 1979 Grand Marquis saw gains in interior and luggage space. During the early 1980s, all three Ford divisions underwent a substantial revision of their full-size and mid-size model ranges. Within Mercury, for 1983, the Fox mid-size platform was repackaged as the Marquis, with an all-new Cougar produced solely as a two-door coupe. The Zephyr was discontinued, replaced by the front-wheel drive Topaz. The Grand Marquis was left as the sole full-size Mercury. For the first time since 1951, the division produced a single sedan nameplate, alongside the Colony Park station wagon. During its production, the first-generation Grand Marquis was marketed against a Buick Electra, Oldsmobile 98, and Chrysler New Yorker, and Fifth Avenue, both in size and price. By 1991, it would be the final vehicle in its segment produced with a rear-wheel drive layout and a V8 engine. The first-generation Grand Marquis was built on the rear-wheel drive Ford Panther platform. While Ford and Mercury sedans had shared common chassis underpinnings since 1961, the Panther chassis marked the first time the two model lines shared a common wheelbase, 114.3 inches, downsized from 124 inches. Although reduced in size, the Grand Marquis would retain the basic suspension design of its predecessor, with a live rear-axle suspension and double wishbone independent front suspension, with coil springs at all four wheels. In 1985, gas-charged shock absorbers were standardized for the model line, with load-leveling rear-air suspension introduced as an option. The Grand Marquis was fitted with front-vented disc brakes and rear drum brakes. For 1986, 15-inch wheels made their return as standard equipment, after having been an option since 1979. As the Grand Marquis became a distinct model line for 1983, its powertrain underwent several revisions. The standard 4.2 liters V8 was discontinued, with a 130 horsepower fuel-injected 4.9 liters V8, rounded up to 5.0 liters by Ford, becoming the sole engine offering. Shared with the Lincoln Town Car and Limited Crown Victoria, in 1986, the 5.0 liters V8 adopted multi-port fuel injection with a cast aluminum upper intake manifold, increasing output to 150 horsepower. As an option, a 180 horsepower 5.8 liters V8 made its return for the Grand Marquis, shared with Ford Police fleet cars. The 5.8 liters V8 was the final carbureted engine sold in North America by Ford at the time of its 1991 discontinuation. Both the 5.0 liters and 5.8 liters V8 engines were paired with the 4-speed auto-overdrive automatic transmission. The first-generation Grand Marquis was offered by Mercury solely as a sedan, in 2-door and 4-door configurations. For 1983 only, the Grand Marquis was offered as a station wagon, effectively a Colony Park without wood grain trim. From 1984 onward, all full-size Mercury wagons were Colony Parks. While styled nearly identical to the Limited Crown Victoria, the first-generation Grand Marquis was 3 inches longer than its Ford counterpart. Alongside the doors and front and rear windows, only the bumpers are externally shared between the two model lines. After the 1987 model year, the 2-door Grand Marquis was discontinued, only 4,904 were produced. In contrast to the stainless steel band surrounding the B-pillars of the Limited Crown Victoria, the Grand Marquis was offered with multiple vinyl roof configurations, sharing the B-pillar coach lamps of the Lincoln Town Car. Alongside the standard half-length vinyl roof, a full-length roof was offered. The LS offered an additional option of a formal roof, configured with a French rear window. The Grand Marquis was styled with a different rear fascia, using full-width taillamps, separated by the license plate. During its production, the first-generation Grand Marquis underwent minor changes. For 1982, simulated vents were removed from the front fenders. For 1983, as the Grand Marquis became a distinct model line, the grille and tail lamps were redesigned. For 1985, to lower production costs, the external electronic fuel injection and automatic overdrive emblems were deleted. Both had become standard features. For 1986, a CHMSL, center brake light, was introduced. For 1988, the Grand Marquis underwent a mid-cycle revision, with restyled front and rear fasces, better integrating the bumpers into the bodywork. To save weight, steel bumpers were replaced by aluminum,